It is far better to be alone, than to be in bad company. If the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep to the slaughter. Truth will ultimately prevail where there is pains to bring it to light. To be prepared for war is one of the most effective means of preserving peace. Guard against the impostures of pretended patriotism. The Constitution is the guide which I never will abandon. Observe good faith and justice toward all nations. Cultivate peace and harmony with all. True friendship is a plant of slow growth, and must undergo and withstand the shocks of adversity, before it is entitled to the appellation. The foolish and wicked practice of profane cursing and swearing is a vice so mean and low that every person of sense and character detests and despises it. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire, called conscience. Laws made by common consent must not be trampled on by individuals. Few men have virtue to withstand the highest bidder. Let us with caution indulge the supposition that morality can be maintained without religion. Reason and experience both forbid us to expect that national morality can prevail in exclusion of religious principle. I hope I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles, the character of an honest man. Happiness and moral duty are inseparably connected. My observation is that whenever one person is found adequate to the discharge of a duty, it is worse executed by two persons, and scarcely done at all if three or more are employed therein. There can be no greater error than to expect, or calculate, upon real favors from nation to nation. It is an illusion which experience must cure, which a just pride ought to discard. A slender acquaintance with the world must convince every man that actions, not words, are the true criterion of the attachment of friends. When we assumed the soldier, we did not lay aside the citizen. I can only say that there is not a man living who wishes more sincerely than I do, to see a plan adopted for the abolition of it, but there is only one proper and effectual mode by which it can be accomplished, and that is by legislative authority, and this, as far as my suffrage will go, shall never be wanting. I beg you be persuaded that no one would be more zealous than myself to establish effectual barriers against the horrors of spiritual tyranny, and every species of religious persecution. Experience teaches us that it is much easier to prevent an enemy from posting themselves than it is to dislodge them after they have got possession. Overgrown military establishments are under any form of government inauspicious to liberty, and are to be regarded as particularly hostile to republican liberty. I am persuaded, you will permit me to observe, that the path of true piety is so plain as to require but little political direction. It may be laid down as a primary position, and the basis of our system, that every citizen who enjoys the protection of a free government, owes not only a proportion of his property, but even of his personal services to the defense of it. Lenience will operate with greater force, in some instances than rigor. It is therefore my first wish to have all of my conduct distinguished by it. Some day, following the example of the United States of America, there will be a United States of Europe. Be courteous to all, but intimate with few, and let those few be well tried before you give them your confidence. Discipline is the soul of an army. It makes small numbers formidable, procures success to the weak, and esteem to all. Liberty, when it begins to take root, is a plant of rapid growth. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. Associate with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. Worry is the interest paid by those who borrow trouble. Let us raise a standard to which the wise and honest can repair, the rest is in the hands of God. Mankind, when left to themselves, are unfit for their own government. The basis of our political system is the right of the people to make and to alter their constitutions of government. There is nothing which can better deserve your patronage than the promotion of science and literature. Knowledge is in every country the surest basis of public happiness.